Well, this is definitely going to be a change from Castlevania. Hey everybody, how's it going? So I've been curious about this one, this game, Citizen Sleeper, for a hot while, and uh, it's been in my list for a bit, and I just figured now's finally the time I give this a shot, and yeah, I was just really curious because I've kind of warmed up a lot more to CRPGs since I played Disco Elysium, like, Christ, around 2 years ago, I think. So I'm gonna, so I wanted to give this a go because it's got some of that sort of similar energy, and I also saw a lot of the artwork through the game, like on Twitter and such, and I thought it looked really nice. So, yeah, I know your objective is survival, but I don't know if there's any kind of overarching story or anything like that. Pardon that, I dropped something. But, yeah. So, let's get started. Alright, so, new game. The story continues. The DLC episodes may be complete, but the story of Helion's system is far from over. Sign up to the newsletter. Oh. Oh, already. Ooh. I like the look of this already. Looks really cool. So, operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to the operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high level of endurance. There's another one over here. Machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinists are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Interesting. I think. Okay, so you get three choices of characters, I suppose, to play as throughout the game. So let's really see what we've got here. So for skills, perk efficient extractor, chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Skills: engineer, interface, endure, intuit, and engage. Okay. And then higher interface for operators, lower endurance. Okay, so this is your distance worker. Love these portraits. And then high endurance because you're in the vacuum of space. Okay, so let me read the descriptions of these stats. Work with machines and physical tools. Work with digital interfaces. Use strength or strength of will. Approach problems with awareness and approach problems head on. Well, if I were to pick based on like my own personal deals, I'd probably be machinist based on the descriptors, because I like to at least say I'm diligent to make sure that I get things done and kind of problem solve a little bit. I get work done and everything. Interface, no endurance. And this is like self-sufficient to have a high level of endurance. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go machinist. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go machinist. Let's do that. Oh, I don't even get to choose my name. Okay. I like that the loading icon is like this number sequence of 1 in the middle, 2 on the bottom and top, and then 3 on the triangle and so forth. The first thing you become aware of on walking in the disconnect. Wait, the first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it feels like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of boiling wells from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you, 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay, 10 whose belief is their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would have ever mattered. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. So some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are duly aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. So it seems like there's no voiceover in this game, so looks like I've got a lot of reading to do, so be strapped in for occasional slip-ups. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of which you were once a person. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too. Everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then, light. White as the cold. Softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh, wow. Love these. God, I love these character portraits. They're so good. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of a scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving implement of an of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with foggy eyes, you hear a voice. "So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet?" Data. Cryo. Cryptocurrency stored in air-walled sticks of memory known as chits. Okay. And nothing about data. Stay silent. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have been preserved. What is wrong with me? Damn it. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. See more than a few of you frozen solid to hope. You ever just hate that somehow your brain just does not recognize English, or doesn't want to say English? See more than a few of you frozen solid to hold plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Solid to hold plates, okay. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking on you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. What happened to them? What happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you patted the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot of a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least, the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too. Or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. Obsolescence? I think that's it. A built-in dependency on the regular administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? Oh, I like a little descriptor beneath the name here. A pragmatic and private salvager. But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. All right, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. This game's gonna give me the brutal reminder to not ever be like a book narrator or something, like at all. I would not be very good at that job unless I did multiple takes or something. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay, so view character. Oh, wow. Oh, so this is me. This is my current character. Efficient extractor. Okay, so we've got upgrade points. So repair myself. And I'm guessing, okay, I don't have any upgrade points to spend. So, transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe. Dice action allows energy recovery at home. Dice action display potential positive and negative outcomes. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Also, I heard Ricky outside, so if you'll excuse me for just a second. I know I just started, but I mean, one of the trends with my streams is that my dog Ricky loves to go outside every few minutes to sort of be outside and then bark after 5 minutes to get back in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's take a look at the rest of the stats here. Predictive reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. Ooh, wait. I think I may want that. With my whatever upgrade point I get next, I want to get that. Thrill Seeker. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. And I can't select it. Oh, wait. Do I have to... Oh, I see. I might have to put a point in to even allow me to access the tree because of my debuff thanks to my starting class. Okay. Icebreak. Self-repair. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. Icebreaker. Agent nodes give a double data reward. It's hard to kill. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Instant Karma. Reroll all your dice once per cycle. And Obsessive Haggler. All cryo actions are discounted by 20%. Okay. Excuse me. That was a hiccup. Empty container. And cycle. So I'm gonna probably get to... So yeah, the game, from what I hear, is exploring the station and trying to survive. And make decisions based on that. You wake up curled in a corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now. strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in this system? Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Took me a second to see what that word is. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. I'm gonna check. Okay, hold on. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you can no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay, so you gave up. So, in the context of the story, you gave up your body to a corporation to be given a synthetic one in order to be able to work out in the vast reaches of space, like off-world. And something went wrong, and then you wake up at the station. But because you're so far from your corporation, your body's like fail-safes that the corporation would take care of are now going to be your own responsibility. Oh, that's messed up. It's kind of like if you applied the artificial dying of a phone battery to a person. Oh, that's mean. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Ah, so I have a limited amount of actions I can perform in the terms of dice. Interesting. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Remember to eat. Good to know. What's this? Okay. Nothing else to do here. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. All right then. At the yard, it's simple enough. We hack these hulls down and sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but those are what comes in. But most of what comes in is scrap.
It's hard to find good hands here, but I figured as a sweeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up.
Chits?
These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade around here.
He stuffs them back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously.
Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well...
He trails off.
But things being the way they are for me at the yard...
He pauses.
I need the help.
Why?
Things are a little tight is all. That's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there.
He pauses, thinking of something else to add.
Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do.
Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him.
See you later, he calls back.
Looks like it's time to get to work. Dragon's yard. Okay. Is there a way to check an inventory? Like, do I have an inventory slot, or is this all... Oh! Oh! This is my... Okay, so this moves the camera for this. Low-end gate. So I'm guessing this is all the low-end sort of area, and then this is where all the high-end stuff is. 'Cause that looks a lot fancier. Okay. Oh, hello. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Respectable action. Hull dissection. Even the rusty's hull. Okay. Manual slaving. Manual salvaging. Okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy condition, or items, depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcomes. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows: 100, 50, 25, 25, 50, 25, 50, 50. I see! So you have control over your own percentages of dice rolls. That's interesting. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And then my modifiers of my stats are added in here that can also add. Okay, so tutorials 2. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and skill and modifiers that apply to that action. Type, either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Oh, sorry, I had a bad hiccup there. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. 3. Skill. The skill that this action requires. Either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Modifier, either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay, so I get, depending on what I end up having in the future, I may need a +1 in a particular stat to do something. Okay. This is really interesting as a system so far. Okay. So a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. Back in business, every salvager knows that they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay, so I drag one of these into a slot here, and these are both repeatable actions. Even the nastiest hull can wield something valuable. So if I did this, yeah, I see.
And now, oh, thanks to my +1, the dice turned from a 2 to a 3. Ah. Cool. Well, that's neat. Well, with my engineer thing, yeah, 100% positive. I think I may go with this. Hey! Clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them. They track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Draco's debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves one each cycle and can complete without player input. Oh, so there are parts of the game that are just full-on timed. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. So this okay, so maybe I go let's try a 100% chance. Okay, tutorial. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive that will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button on the top left of the screen. Okay. 2. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or WASD to scroll along the station. Rotate to view with A and D. Good luck. Okay. Well, find a doctor. Okay. We repay Dragos. Dragos pulled you out of the salvage and set you up. Perhaps he can repay his kindness. Okay. Well, I only have 25 cryo to my name. So how's about we leave this for now. Check the shipyard. Assist shipbuilder, haul materials. Okay. Anything else around here? Any doctors? Oh, hello. Helion Crossing. Nothing. Okay, so nothing can be done about that. Dock B2. Nothing there. And Rotunda A. Or is that Rotunda or Rotunda A? I didn't see. Yeah. Steel dock plant. No. Haven Age security has to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know this place and the most dangerous. Rotunda of the old dock is filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. Let's do this. Actually, yeah, let's do this to see what we're about here. You systematically work your way through the busy passageways. Nothing some locations of interest to you as you do. Okay, so this is very much a slower progress. Overlook. Oh, a bar. Get a drink. Overlook regular. Okay. Buy rations. Let's buy some rations. The Overlook doesn't. Wait, Tala keeps some expired Solheim rations behind the bar for those wary space travelers who ask why the Overlook doesn't serve food. Well, they're my only way of getting food right now, so Sure, go Shinada, go full Shinada from Yakuza 5 and buy expired food. Alright, what have we got here? Bright Market. Ask for directions. Why wander when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the Bright Market? All you need is courage to approach them. And the smells, sounds, and amazing and buzzing activity of the Bright Market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but an enticing one too. Okay. I want to save my last dice for something important. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, Yagatan have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. Yeah, that's more than I got right now, so how about we go no for that? Wait, there's something else here. I think I want to make a little more cryo at the shipyard for now. Let's use it on this one. There we are. Takes you a while to get a handle on Dragos' equipment, but before long you are precisely slicing down hull plates into neat piles. Alright, well, that's all I can do for today. Yeah. Is that... Do I just, like... Well, I'm done with all my dice. Do I just go ahead and... end cycle? Complete active scenes. Oh, there's some scenes I need to do. Okay, that's what it is. What scenes do I need to do? Oh, hello. Hey, you want to earn a chit? So, Ankita? I think is how you pronounce that name. I'm trying to read that as it's sideways. Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied-together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Sure. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Don't try anything, all right? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Wouldn't think of it. Good. She pauses. Look, I'm not usually... Let's just say my temper's been a little short lately. Oh, I love her design, though. Look at her design! Oh, this character art in this game is so good. A stranded mercenary. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn that shit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. And she sets off down a gantry at impressive speeds. At an impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Wow. I've never seen the word stevedore written. Stevedore sounds like a made-up word to me. God damn it, it's my own language, and it's my native language, and I think some words sound made up. What's all this for? Oh, this? She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a treehouse. She gives you another look. It's for the ambergris. That cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on our last job, and I had to moor up here for the spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mind. So now she's gotten dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one short ship mind. I'm short one ship mind, with a ton of repairs to do. And the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd be stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, I've seen worse. but I'm bleeding chits every cycle here, so I need to get off and fast. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle over off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. You. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She pauses, the bundle of plates through the ambergrease's outer lock, and then turns back. Or she passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris outer lock and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple chits. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, let's get out of here. She calls back and the lock slams shut. Okay, another job. Cool. Hate to do it again, but Ricky needs to get inside. So, pardon me for just a second. And I'm back. Sorry about that. It's gonna happen with some frequency because because he just loves to go outside and not be able to come. Like, he can't get back in on his own because he's old and not able to really, move as well as he used to. Like, I think he's about 14 or so, and he's like an old terrier mix, so he's quite small as well. He can't move as well, so when he goes out, he's able to go out, but he can't get back in as easily. So that's why I frequently keep hopping back and forth like that. Sorry. So the ambergris. Okay. Well, too bad I'm out of energy for the day, or out of actions. End cycle. So I have 2 jobs that I can do to earn money. Uh-oh. Energy's down. Alright, let me drink some water before I start reading. Okay. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station. Like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Observe it. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see or feel the map of the station. No, Not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It's a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out in space. It's an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, and a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it's pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open in the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it's gone. Okay. Oh, so I lose dice actions if I'm not properly satiate, I guess. How do I fix myself then? How do I get energy back? Probably at the Bright Market? Let's do this. Lockdown knowledge. You manage to follow the flow of people and you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the markets. Alright. Is there like an inventory system that I can use to feed myself, or is that not what I'm supposed to use this for? Salvage spray. It takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt and return, loaded with scrap from old wreckers. Okay. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink fermented along the greenway smells like a good test. I am not gonna be a plan on that. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet. Okay. Assist a shipbuilder. Yeah, let's do that. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. You can get a shipbuilder to notice them if you might be in. Actually, no. Alright. Look good there. What's over here? Still more market exploration and asking for directions. And then... Ah! Doctor! Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring any attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, your body will. You suppress and shiver and shuffle toward the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "Wait your turn," he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting of the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the Bright Market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. And for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. "Come, sit," calls a sharp voice. You see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame for a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. Oh, I love these designs. Oh, Sabine, a doctor in the Bright Market. Oh, I like your look. That's unique. The figure turns. As they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. "Oh, they non-binary? Oh, that's cool." "Please sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on this station?" They ask, the scanner still to their eye. "A few cycles." They nod. "It's good to see you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying," they say without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNRF doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose, to prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizers, one which Epsilon remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? "How do you know this?" They shift in their seat. "You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered." You wait for more, but they go back into their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. "Emulations like you, sleepers as most people you know, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status." They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. And Espinarp has no reason to release stabilizers into the market. I think maybe there could be a couple grammar corrections, I feel. Because there should be an S at the end of stabilizer for stabilizers. But again, small nitpicks. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. "I know little of this is of use to you." They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. "I may be able to help." They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. "You saw Toshiro outside?" You nod. "He works for my benefactor. Benefactor? That's not a word. Yagatan. They're influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds." They look away. But Yagatan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive. but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face draped by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Cool. Nice. Okay, well that was a cool moment. Okay. So I'm still confused as to what the yellow... Oh, wait. Oh, that's just this thing. I'm dumb. Repay Dragos, fix ambergris. Repair the ship's hull. Okay, so... That tracking is just to... That yellow marker was just to see the tracking. Well, I only have one thing left. How's about... Should I help with this? Rewire drones? Oh, okay, that's not for me. I'll do this when I have more of like the middle road dice to pick. I've got 47. Might as well buy some rations. Okay, that got my energy up. And I'll help with Drago's thing. There we are. Oh wait, what's this? Data? Or what's this items? Scrap components. Filters, capacitors, sensors, useful for salvage to the right person. Ooh. Who could I... Wait, do I give this to someone? Another hiccup. Sorry. Oof. Alright. Well, so far, so good. Okay, I think I get what this game wants, as it were, or what's expected to be done. You survive, and then you kind of assign your dice to particular roles. That in particular is a really interesting idea. Like, that you can control your own positive or chance-based outcomes because you have a set of them on top. That's really interesting. I like that. Well, I mean, that's all I can really do for now, I think. So how's about we end the cycle? Because, yeah, I don't know what I can do with the scrap components. Oh wait, do I have any... I doubt I get upgrade points easily, considering how little of a... Considering how small the numbers are here, I doubt that you get a whole lot of upgrade points to distribute, so... Yeah, looks like I gotta end the cycle. This is cool, though. I like this. On top of that, the artwork is incredible. I love the character art. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter? I was supposed to in a winter lake. No, not a winter. No, in a winter lake. It's clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Also, okay, cool. I can. I'm gonna lower the ambience and the music like a little bit. That should do it. Yeah, because the ambient noise was getting a little loud. Did it not apply? It did apply. Okay. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering lights beneath you, beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring. Through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. Focus on the nodes? The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here. And then lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Ah, that's probably the corporation tracking you, because, I mean, your body is the corporation's, it's their deal. They're manufactured. Gotta be drinking a lot of water for this. A lot of reading. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. I like these moments. These are cool. So I'm being hunted. The cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful. These networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Oh. Solheim Gate S7. Keynode 0102. Data actions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the ones displayed on the right of the action. If you have a +1 or 2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. Oh, so okay. So if I don't have any modifiers in interface, I have to pick the one that matches, and then if I do have a modifier, I can pick any dice that I choose. Okay. Part of me kind of wants six-sided dice with the hexagon symbols on there. I think that'd be a really cool merch opportunity, just to have like a couple six-sided dice with those symbols on it. I'd use those for my tabletop campaigns. Okay, well I don't have any 2 dice, so I have to leave that. And I'm guessing the dice that you get are randomized for each cycle you go through, because I had a 5 and a 3 and another thing, and now I've got a 4, 3, and a 5. So I guess 5 to 6 is a guarantee 100%. A 4 to 3 is the 50-50, and then a 2 to 1 is, or no, a 3 or 4 is 25% success, great success, 50% success, then 25% failure, and then a 2 and a 1 is a 50-50. Interesting. Slot Solheim Cipher. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since Solheim collapse. Since the Solheim collapsed. Okay. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. Ooh, I could take that one. What's this one? A Haven Age member is broadcasting on the open network from here, leaving them open to data extraction. This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. Oh, this is gonna get more expansive as I keep going, is it? Oh, man, this is cool. I like this. But yeah, it looks like we are indeed being tracked by something. We only need really one, so I'm gonna do this. Cool. Earn some cryo. Ooh. Something new? You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bench structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. Oh no. She's a beauty, isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the shipyard. What is it? Dragos laughs. That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg. As it reaches the base of the yard, Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drone starts to crawl over the hulk, their eyes illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of an SNR freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Oh wait, oh no, that was phrased like a question. The wreck of a lowered corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own? A womb of your rebirth into this strange station. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about the ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winterlight. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard. You feel suddenly cold in the empty passage. Ooh. Okay, character and upgrades. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. Okay, so now I can pick one of these to go through. Sunbathe dice action allowance. I think I was going to do this one. Yeah. Now I can see the benefits and drawbacks that I can choose. Yeah. What's what I can do here? Nothing. It's going to take a few cycles. Right. And then I'm being hunted here. No, not end the cycle. Oh, I've got, oh, hello. Ooh, pay me a fixed wage. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. Yard clearance and then cryo. Got 67. Actually, what I should do is get some food. So let's leave and then get some food. Actually, might as well try the drink. Oh, that does restore energy. Wait, then why would I pick buy rations then? Alright, well that restored some decent energy. Might as well do that again. Nah. Alright, well, let's help you with the yard. And I'll use my 100%. I'll use my... Oh, wait. Did I miss a... No. Okay, so I guess a 6 dice is a guarantee, and I was wrong about the others. Okay. Yeah. You discover a hidden compartment with some spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. What do I do with these? I'm so confused. What do I do with these data things? And I'm guessing the data is related to the eye stuff. So I might need to hold off on that. Alright, let's help repair the hull. Yeah. It turns out years of retrofits have made Amber a fragile patient. Each repair is 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Oh, God. Yeah, it's like, well, we managed to tear down this wall, but we found a really bad amount of mold on the on one of the areas in your house, so we're gonna have to take care of that. When they found the mold, it turns out some of the wood was rotted. Uh-oh, gotta take care of that. Oh, wait, if that wood is rotted, then that means your foundation's also gonna be terrible. Might as well tear that up. It's just patchwork. It's just patchwork stuff just getting worse and worse and worse and worse as you keep going. It's like an average HDTV television series. Alright, I think that's all I can do for now, actually. What do I do with these data things? I'm so confused. Useful salvage to the right. Do I sell it at the market? Is that what I do? Explore the market. Local knowledge and minus energy. Okay, well, I can't do that until I have more action dice, so might as well go and schlep. Let's go schlep. I'll probably get rations instead, because getting a drink increases my reputation. Oh, God, I need to get it. Food. Okay, so not every... Never mind. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up! Turn. Feng is coming down the corridor toward you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Oh, I like that little can he's got. It's just so filled with lovely detail. Like even just seeing the hatching of the shading here, I love it. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Elrin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not exactly very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. Erlin? You pass together through to the main walkway. No one has told you about Erlin? He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. Havenage should organize some seminars. He laughs. Not really my department, though. I'm with systems. Havenage? Metal Gear Solid questioning. Revolution. Havenage. Liquid's arm. Colonel, I'm suddenly on this weird space station in the middle of nowhere. My ass cheeks have been replaced with synthetics, Colonel. Snake, this is of grave importance. You must get your ass back. Think of us as an administrative association for the Eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerged as a response to or a continuation of Andre Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network and activity, and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then, when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Okay, cool. Well, I've got a 1 dice, which I could probably use that for one of the eye data things. So you know what? Let's do that. I'm gonna do that. That sounds fun. But first, food. Food and drink. There we are. And then I. Was it this one? No. Was it this one? No. This one? Yes. Bypass. Extract data. Encrypted key. What's this? A stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging maglocks. Okay. Interesting. Well, I'd like to get the winter light stuff handled. And then anything else that needs doing? Study the winter light, survive. Wait for seven to acquire stabilizers. And that's, I think, another cycle before that can get done. I want to help repair that ship's hull, because I think Ankita is cool and nice. Alright, yeah. Cool. With Ankita's help, you systematically isolate, remove, and repair and reseal the hull plates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. I also forgot to read the outcomes of the previous thing I did. Oops. Okay. And... oh wait, no, that's because of the thing. I don't need to toggle the tracking for now. Okay. Yeah. That looks good to me. And this shipyard thing I could do more of, but we'll see how I do next cycle. Let's check that in the next cycle. And then well, I'll do it in the next cycle to get energy again. Okay. I actually don't know how long this game is, I should say as well. I have no reference for how long this game actually is. Oh, hello. Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Heaven Age building, leaning against a bay door on the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind you. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I didn't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around you. You like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack with bleeps which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from this sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, A1. That one. I don't know what that is. That looks like that looks like part of what Elon Musk tried to name his kid. The one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we've never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a constant and concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can't you? I mean, he's friendly enough, so sure, I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you. As you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. And hydration, because that's what I desperately need. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Heaven Age, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It is a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Oh, that was like a hiccup burp. Ow. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. And I'll see you soon. You step, blinking back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. So, I can give him I give him one of this, I think. Right? Or this? Deliver data. Fang will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old system. Don't I have... Isn't this what he needs? Oh, right mouse. Hey, Combo. Hope you're doing well. I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm invested. You're a cyborg person who gets found on this station, and your objective is to survive. But you're already given the ability of like seeing into the systems of the station itself, or having to upkeep your body because your corporate entities are the only ones that were able to provide that. This is really cool.
But you know what's also really cool? Me having to keep going outside to get my dog to bring him back inside. Sorry, folks. Give me just a moment. And I'm back. Okay. So, yeah, we just got a means of being able to make some money whilst we are dealing with the fact that we're being tracked by our corporate overlords. And got some other things. We've got a few avenues on making money and keeping ourselves maintained. What's this about? New scene? What's this? Buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the starward bay is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can be found amongst the salvage, much like on an episode of that there Storage Wars. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the ore exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help. Okay, but it's so weird. I thought I had the data for that, but I guess not. Was this a 2 or a 3? That was a 3. But yeah, Combo, this game's got some interesting ideas for its dice system. It's not really a rolling dice system like you would normally see in a CRPG. So essentially you're given guaranteed percentiles that you can allocate to a action to make things happen, and I think that's a really cool idea. That's unique. If anything, that's really cool. I like it. Okay, so now I get energy back because I had some stiff drinks, and now I'm a regular. Ooh, the glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Haunt! The spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? Ignore him.
You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scar the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. Out! The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, and a stare that could breach the wall and vent you all into hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Duck. You duck and the glass explodes on the bar behind you, showering you in glittering shards. Through the haze of glass and Griol vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as she slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your forehead and it feels wet. Someone helps you onto your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of Griol is glugged out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol in a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns to you. You were pretty fast on that second glass, she smiles, picking a piece of glass from your forehead. But not fast enough. You don't feel the pain. Only the string of status messages from your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's eyes search through your synthetic skin for splinters. I like her tattoos. Like, Combo, do you see the art for the characters here? This is so nice. I love these character designs. They're so good. Like, they're really, really good. God. Look away. As Tala works, you glance around the overlook. The dim orange lights built into each table, giving the scattered patrons a conspirational mood. You recognize a few from previous meetings, but they all seem to have forgotten their recent confrontation as quickly as it arrived. Each seems in their own bubble, whiling away the hours in the repurposed dock with its meager distractions. It's not as bad as it looks, said Tala, without making it clear if she means the bar or your wounds. Tala smiles to herself. So you've been on the eye long? Just arrived. I thought so. I've only seen you here a couple times. A splinter clicks into the tin. Not everyone is like that idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your shits. I just want to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company is, she leans in, limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar, and if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, Sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Griol to you. This'll help. She stops, her hand still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Fuck it. Let's find out. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw the spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Griol. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old, feels good.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm actually kind of having fun narrating this. I like this. This is fun. That was a really nice interaction. All right, what have you got, Doc? And yeah, we found a doctor as well for our synthetic body, but they need to get supplies because corporate overlords are the only ones with stabilizers for the synthetic body that I'm inhabiting. So yeah. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eye in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I'm gonna drink some more water, because, yeah, this game's got no voiceover, so I'm gonna be hydrating a lot. More so than my usual reminders.
I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserters. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yakatan... They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizers work under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself.
Had a chat with another friend. Turns out it's their daily routine as well. Yeah, it's... oh, how's Ring Fit? Oh, Ring Fit's been doing fine for me. I've been keeping up with it mostly for a while. I, like, kind of on and off in terms of how frequent the routine is. Like, some days I do it for 3 days a week. Other times in the year I do it, like, for 4 days. My current cycle of it is about 4 days. I just do Ring Fit every morning for about 40 minutes or an hour. And then... or more like half an hour to an hour, if anything. Like, depending on, like, how sore I feel during the workout or how sore I may feel after. And then I just have 3 days of not working out. So it's like 4 days, 3 days, and then sometimes it'll become 4 days of no workout, 3 days of workout. But I guess that's the nice thing about it, is that it's so adjustable, depending on your current needs. Which, granted, a normal gym could be like that too, but a normal gym isn't a role-playing game. Like, a normal gym doesn't make stat go bigger, and you feel large with each growing number. And I don't know, I kind of prefer the way Ring Fit does the routines. Like, it's not so much based on, like, form or rep number, or it's based on form instead of rep number, because you have, like, a set amount of reps of a particular workout that you can do. Like, for instance, if I want to use squats to do leg-based damage on an enemy, you're given your set number of squats. You just need to make sure you're doing it correctly so you can get maximum damage. Because, like, if you barely squat in that, you don't do much damage. If you squat, like, more of that, you do better damage. And if you do the full squat, like, you have the good form and everything, that's, like, max damage. So... yeah, I like that it's more form-based, less rep number-based, because, you know, you could do reps of a workout, but if you have bad form, then you're not exactly working out properly. But yeah, Ring Fit's been treating me well. I've been using it for a long while, and it has been a decent way to help maintain my weight and my current health. Although someday I probably could try for a gym, or at least a more, like, stricter workout routine, like something a bit more tough. But as it stands right now, Ring Fit's kind of the best option for me as someone who feels a little too anxious about going to the gym. You know, the gym kind of gives me some anxieties, because there's also some, like, stuff that can go on in gyms that can make people feel uncomfortable, and myself a bit uncomfortable. So yeah. All right,
The stabilizers work under a similar principles of immunosuppressors in a transplant operation. Yeah, we already read that. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Oh, that's messed up! So, like, the biosynthetic organs, so like biosynthetic liver, lungs, etc., eventually become identified as a foreign body. Oh, that's messed up. So that'd be like the equivalent of you needing to occasionally like take some medicine to like make sure that your body doesn't reject like your colon or something. That's ooh. God, that's mean of corporations to have. Holy shit. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike a immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin re-dyeing the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. How sure are you? I'm working with best guesses here, but the vials, it looks authentic. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? Does this person explain the choice of fashion they've got on? Reminds me of a poncho. I like it. I think it looks cool. Like it's kind of got this raincoat. It's kind of like a rain cloak instead of a raincoat. I like it. But yeah, I don't think they explained their choice of fashion. I just think it looks neat. What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yagatan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow. As if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Oh! Okay, so I need to get stabilizers to get that. Ooh, boy, that's quite a bit. Alright, well, let's repair the hull. Ah, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. So, what's this one about? So you are a cyborg that was given a synthetic body by your corporate overlord, and some kind of accident happens with your character, and you come onto this station called Elrin's Eye, and this station hosts all kind of different forms of people and life and so forth, and yeah, space steeds in space. It's and essentially your objective is to survive, and you've got all kinds of small timed events that happen and all sorts of people to interact with, jobs to do, actions to perform, and yeah, it's just an interesting little role-playing game. I was intrigued about this because I saw the character designs and really liked what I saw. So yeah. Periodically, I've had to stop to get my dog inside, but you know, that's how it be. I picked the machinist job. I picked the machinist class because you're given 3 choices of character to choose from to play around with, and I picked the machinist for like a lot of engineering stuff, and yeah, that's been treating me well enough so far. Alright, well, let's do this. There. And then let's add this. But yeah, depending on your startup class, how is your dog? He's okay. Ricky, the little terrier mix I mentioned earlier, he gets bored and then goes outside to sort of hang out and maybe sunbathe, but then he'll bark to be let back in because he can't get in on his own due to the fact that he's around 14 or 15, you know? Like, he's still energetic and can move around, and he's loud, but he can't move as easily upstairs. He can't get through certain spots as easily. He has trouble hopping up on furniture sometimes. Make sure your character tightens the metal they're cutting enough so that it doesn't go flying like mine did once. Yeah. Okay, cutter salvage. Yeah. And I get paid. And I also made friends with someone at the bar, so I can take a bar shift. Oh, so it gives, can give money no matter what. Except I have to engage with people. Tal is as good as her word and happy to throw a shift or 2 your way. The pay isn't great, but the tips can make all the difference. Just like working at real bars. But yeah, you're found in a scrapyard, and you're given just a shipping container to sleep in. And you have to sleep in order to get back your action dice. Because the way that dice... I can't even say rolls. The way dice work in this game is different than how it is in like a normal tabletop system or a CRPG. And I think it's really cool. Alright, let's end the cycle. Oh man. Oh, if I have more stability, I have more dice to use. Ah, cool. Well, let's buy some rations since we got paid to get some energy back. How much is a stabilizer? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's the thing that's keeping me alive. That makes sense why it'd be so much. Okay. Whew. 50-50. I'd like to learn a bit more about the market. See if I can meet more characters. Yeah, 50-50 on that. Hey, you managed to follow the flow of people, and you start to appreciate, even enjoy the chaotic layout of the markets. Ooh, Emphas. See, look at this character! Look at these characters! They're so... Oh, look at the detail! It's so cool.
Oh, love it. Emphas is busy, his broad face lit up by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. An imposing street food vendor. Let's approach him. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, and a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Emphas speaks in a deep, even tone, without looking up. First try's free. Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you. You're sleepers. Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. Hard life. A lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journeys to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his wok. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had but you can never forget. You tell him that the eye exists, excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you trail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side and shuts it off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearm, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Oh, what a cool character. I like him. I like him. He's just there for you to talk to while he makes your food. Oh, cool guy. I like him. I'm like, so far, all the characters just have this hominess to them. And helping matters is that music that played while I was reading that scene was really nice. That was really good. And my energy's full too, which is even better. Oh, that was a great moment. So I haven't done the shipyard yet. I can give that a go. Yeah, let's do this. Assist a shipbuilder. You shadow a shipbuilder who is impressed when you know how to double seal a hull plate. He slips you a tip at the end of the shift. Ayy. And let's get ourselves a guarantee on the winter light. Picking through the wrecked cutter is slow work, but you start to piece together the impact patterns and blast marks. I'm saving the one for when I go into the eye itself to look at the systems, because I remember that there is a thing down there to take a look at. And
And I'm going to get a 100% on this because I want to help the Amber get fixed up. There we go. With Ankita's help, you systematically isolate, remove, and repair reseal hull plates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. And in here... Ooh. Is this where? That's where I'm supposed to do this. Okay. What's this? Gate S7 access. S7? Is that? Yatagan Agency. Keynode. Wait, was this the keynode that needed the 1? No. This was it. Let's grab this. Feeds into its isolation node. Yeah, let's get this. Another encrypted key. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread. Strung light around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Stay still. Please hold. Oh! Dude! Oh! Look at this thing! Ooh! This is a creature design that oh. This thing looks metal. I love it. Wow. Are you seeing this? Oh. Damn. I am loving this. This is great. Like, all of the character designs have been fantastic, and I am intrigued. I'm in. I'm in. Like 2 hours or so and I am in. The thread around you thickens until it is at a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, SNARP. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop! The figure halts its threads. Its head's twitching. Entity. Your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, your hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Okay. So that was like a defense system, or some kind of abandoned defense system. Okay. Any other events to look at? No. Okay. And I'm full on energy, and I'm full on stability. Let's go to bed. And I think I'm going to do this next cycle, and then I'll probably stop for now. Because I wanted to do a bit of a shorter one today, but I do want to stream more of this. Because, holy shit, first couple hours, I'm loving it already. Let's go to the bar. I want to try this out. Good service. The Overlook clientele can be a tough crowd, but you have Tala's backing, and that means a lot. Let's do this. Yeah. Hey, people flow in and out of the Overlook, keeping you busy. Your mind drifts to those easy fantasies of just passing through. All right. And then we can... I'll make that the last action I do. What's this? Unload containers. Yeah, I'll help with that. The freighter... yeah. I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with these scrap components, though. I mean, I don't know if I can sell them somewhere or something, but it might be needed to do. Also, I just got a bunch of cryo, which is good, because I need to make sure I get food. But yeah, that was nice of Memphis to give me the first free meal. Or the first meal free. And then... Hey, you managed to follow the flow, and you start to appreciate. Yeah. What's this? Ort exchange. Aha! That's where I do it. I was correct. This is where I sell my scrap. Good. Good to know. There may be a time where I need to give my scrap to somebody else for something, so I'm going to hold off on that for now. But I will help with the hull repair. There. And then... And yeah, this is what my character looks like. So... yeah, you're given 3 different kinds of characters that you can play as, and this is the machinist. So this is what my character is supposed to look like to the characters of the eye of this station. So yeah, again, love the look, love the design, love the art. It's so nice, so good. So Doc C4. Okay. Alright, well, let's throw ourselves into... He looks very human. Yeah, he does. But enough cyborgness about him to make him look so... to look odd-looking. Alright. And there we go. You discover a hidden compartment with spare components and a backup data storage. This has to contain something useful. Squeezed into the office. Hold on. Before I read this, actually, I'm gonna drink some water, because this could be an important moment. Okay. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensics notes glow on Drago's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumbled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winterlight. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in sections, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose, radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story. A catastrophic failure of the drive core, leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You were looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized, and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it is troubling you. Look at the slate. Your attempts, not armpits, what do my armpits have to do with this? Your attempts at a reconstruction of the Winterlight before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy. A lifetime project kept running with care and intuition, much like a gamer PC. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened. The corners rounded to disguise the change, but they are there. And look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winterlight, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. The first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago, on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winterlight got a little rest. Okay. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winterlight, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It's a little more than a list. A tiny chunk of data you were able to... It is a little more than a list. A tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winterlight had a separate system. One tucked away in one of its hidden compartments. Armored. Air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mines ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and the final entry, passenger sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winterlight, a smuggler's ship, if you ever saw one, to extract them from SNARP? Luckier. You laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You'd checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from SNARP. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? 2, one after the other. feels wrong. You flick back and forth between data sheets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in, someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed. And when they were done, they left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Dragos stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled.
What is all this?
He snatches the slate from the desk, faster than you realized he could move.
You're running an investigation here? What am I paying you for?
The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing through his implants. Where's the ship from?
Leave this alone.
He starts shaking his head.
I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way.
He turns away, muttering to himself.
This is the last thing I need.
This ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry.
What did you say?
He pushes past you to look at the terminal and at the list. He shakes his head.
So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You are lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them.
He folds his arms indignantly. Dragos seems to steady himself, and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes.
I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work.
He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say.
There's plenty of others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me. No.
I know. He softens.
Look, you've helped me too.
He quiets the drone.
I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor.
He straightens up and clears his throat.
But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after.
He sighs.
You can't work here anymore.
I need the work.
There's plenty of work to be had on the Eye. Salvagers need offloads in the Rotunda, and Yagatan are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town.
Dragos reaches across to you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done.
You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on.
Someone killed that ship and its crew.
And you want to meet them? He shakes his head. We are done here.
In the dark, Dragos' headset light glints and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always.
You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back.
His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then turn out of the yard, and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. As you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winterlight, and whether or not that person will come for you. Well, that was really good. Oh, I'm happy. Okay. Well, I lost that source of income, but as he said, I do have other means of finding money. I've got the scrap components here, and I've got a shipyard, and I've got this over here. Well, I don't know if there's autosaves. Oh, fantastic. Cool. I don't have to manual save. Well, this game so far is really good. I love this. Like, first impressions are quite strong for me here. So I'm definitely going to be streaming a lot more of this down the line. Again, I don't know how long this game is, but it's very, very, very nice. I like the narration stuff. I like all of it. The expressionless as always. What you thought the bros goggles were going to start making facial expressions like Pyro in an SFM film? I mean, obviously not as advanced as Pyro's. I'm at my aunt's house right now for a job. What genre is this? CRPG. Kind of like the way that a game developer would, what's the word for it? Translate a tabletop system to a video game form. But it's kind of a role-playing game, I'd say. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting, too. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. It's been really fun. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And kind of like Disco Elysium? Yeah, kind of like Disco Elysium. Except more sci-fi than dystopian. It's kind of more sci-fi than a dystopian type of setting. Well, no, this is kind of dystopian. It's a different genre. It's a different genre version CRPG, but it does have that very disco energy. But yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been really nice. Hopefully you all have a great rest of your evening or whenever you're seeing this. Stay hydrated and keep your postures checked, and I will see you in the next stream. That was a cool voice crack. I saw Citizen Sleeper and thought of the Shonen Resident Sleeper. That it does kind of sound like it would be a kind of different type of game, but no, so far this is really cool because you are a citizen of the satellite, but a sleeper is an in-universe term for what your character is, which is a person's consciousness put into a bio body, like a cybernetic body. But yeah, take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next stream.